action. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Yes, this session did kind of take some time, but I'm excited. I'm excited. For those who don't know who we have here today, could you please give us like a quick intro of, who's the amazing person that is before us as we get this show on the road?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Firstly, I'd like to pass my sincere gratitude for having me here. I'm DJ Lady G. My name is Nondumiso Dlamini, residing as Zuluine Ebuka. Apart from DJing, I'm a teacher, teaching ICT at Salem High School. But I'm here for DJing.
Of course. Most deaf. And that's how we actually know you, like the talented, just doing the most on the ones and twos, which is rather interesting. How did you start off that? Was it always something you've loved? You saw someone who were inspired? How does that story happen?
I think it was the love of music behind everything, because before I became a DJ, I was a dancer. I was dancing. I even joined the Pele Pele group. I hope you know I was
Really?
dancing there, but on the junior group.
Yes.
We were managed by Sloane. I hope you know Sloane.
Yes.
The comedian now. Yes. Yes, he was managing us there. Then I think music will fall part of me. So as I grew up, ngabana looked tons of music.
Yes.
So I started playing music using virtual DJ. I wasn't even aware of how to mix, but I was playing the tracks from this side and the other side. Up until I got somebody who taught me, okay, this is how to be. Yeah, so I took it from there, and then I met few DJs who got me into the industry. I joined One Play Entertainment. Yeah, so I was inspired by DJ Moto Yemali, who's known for Igom. So I had passion for Igom. So that's how we got linked together. I was following his Igom, and then I joined under his table, if I may call it, One Play Entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And then I've got there's two interesting aspects of that. And the Pele Pele, which makes a lot of sense. That influence and the likes with music. And Boom, so which track do you feel like was the greatest Boom track of all time? Simply because, for me I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's not that famous track that actually mainstream before Amapiano came into the scene, which I guess we'll get into that. But for you, which track do you feel, is that one Boom track that actually resonates with you?
Oh, okay. That track, I hope you remember the track, but during those times, that was when I started DJing.
Yeah. It was it Malum Kukat?
Yes, Malum Kukat, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So that's the one that actually was your go-to track, if you can put it in that manner.
Yeah, but not it alone.
Yes.
And babes what do more during those times. And now we have a lot of it's diverging from every angle. We have Durban Gom, we have Cape Town Gom now.
Yes.
It's no longer one Gom.
Most definitely. And then obviously then you mentioned that that influence you had with Pele Pele ignited that flame, if I can put it in that manner, for the love of music that you have now. How's the journey been? Obviously you've been in different stages, shows and the likes that you've done. Are there any shows that stick out to you, and what does it mean to actually have a good show? For Lady G, having a good show is when what happens? Is it when the crowd is reacting, or when the sound is on point? What dynamics?
Okay, it's been a great journey. DJing has been a great journey to me. I enjoy DJing. I enjoy being in the midst of music, being in control of the music, if I may put it like that. So I think for me, when I say it was a great gig for me, it was when the audience, or I may say the fans, like bebang vuma, like when I was playing, then they were up for it. That's how I call it the best show or my best gig, apart from other things like good paying gigs.
Yes, of course. The bag is very important.
So that is obvious. That is
Yes,
obvious.
it goes without saying. In fact, that's the most important aspect. But
Yes.
Alright, okay, cool. And then performances that you've ever done, is there any DJ that you actually look up to, that you feel like, okay, they have either paved the way, either locally, internationally, that you feel like, okay, you're inspired by them and you kind of try to mold your style towards that? And then the follow-up question to that one as well is, are you a fan of Mapiano? Do you play Mapiano as well? Is it a mix of those two sounds? But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Besides me playing drum, okay, I've just invented into, or I may say I diverted to hip hop. I'm currently playing hip hop now.
Okay.
But I'm a dynamic DJ. I
Yes,
play
yes, yes.
everything. I play everything because I've once been a resident DJ. I hope other DJs may tell you that if you are a resident DJ, you learn to play all type of genres, because it will depend on the people sitting maybe in that club or that bar. They won't listen to Amapiano all night. They'll get tired of the same genre. So you have to change. Amapiano, I play Amapiano.
No. As we are on a Friday as well, piano's what's going to slide us into the mix. But yeah.
Yeah, but in as much as most DJs are influenced by Amapiano, then all of a sudden, all of them, if I may say, most of them are now playing Amapiano.
Yeah.
But what kept me not sticking on Amapiano, it is because I want something different. If we can go to a show just tonight, you notice that most, if not all, will be playing Amapiano.
Yeah.
So
In
I
fact,
just
that's-
give a different taste. Wherever I go, I give a different taste, because you'll find that 3 hours non-stop it's Amapiano.
True.
Then maybe my hour I'll take hip hop, or
Oh, yes.
maybe I'll take gom. And then after me, you go back to Amapiano.
True, and that actually helps, because if you've been pre-programmed, you've been listening to my piano all along, the moment you hear something different, it kind of piques your interest.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That's actually, and then the hip hop that you play, which artists are you currently listening to? What's on your playlist? Because you're obviously always giving the people the sound and dishing out the sound, but what is currently on your personal playlist? What do you love listening to?
My hip hop covers it covers internationally,
Yes.
mostly South Africa, and then from States. Not to say I'm not supporting local. I do play local. I do play local. Yeah, there are so many. The likes of Bob Blakey, Kuli China, K.O., AK. I've got a lot. A lot.
And Black is actually doing some impressive stuff
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And, his sound is actually on point. But
Yeah.
Okay, and then obviously we're seeing a lot of people do have a sense of love for music. I think there's no one actually doesn't love music. I'm yet to come across an individual like that. But if for instance, I want to start being a disc jockey as well, is there any advice you could give me? So much so from what you've learned and what you've gone through, or the viewers as well. Like, is there any hurdles you need to avoid, approaches you need to have as you get into the industry, and what you've learned as you've moved through it?
Okay, yeah. Okay, one advice I'll give to you. You are the potential DJ. Yes. Firstly, when you get that person to teach you, get somebody who plays the genre you love, because every DJ starts with a genre in mind. Nobody comes and say, I don't know what to play, I just want to play. There's no one who comes like that. So first like advice would you get that person who plays that genre you want to play. Secondly, and have deals with that person from scratch. I'm going to pay you like this, because what normally happens when somebody teaches you, maybe you by your luck you pop up because it's fun really.
True. For some reason, maybe this was my calling, and then it become big. Yes, I see what you mean.
Yes. So you find that that person will follow you even after, you have to give me something. I have to get a share from.
Yes, because they feel
you are where you are because of me. Some of them, they even assume being your manager, like you don't get the opportunity to choose your own manager. They'll be like, okay, you are my product because now you are.
Now you feel like it makes sense.
You see, yes. Another advice, it is when you get into the industry, when you get into paying gigs, when you are speaking with the organizers, or maybe say, maybe the club owners or wherever you may be going to play, put money first.
Don't put the passion, because I feel like that's the biggest thing. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's one of the best flaws with artists or people who are within the art and culture scene, that we always are driven. There's an assumption by what you love instead of then looking at it from a business space.
Yes.
So I like that you're highlighting that, always be clear from the onset about the
Yes, because what we normally, I sometimes become an organizer. We organize events at One Play Entertainment. So we know DJs that we can get for free, and we know DJs that we are going to pay about. Not like, okay, sometimes Babo DJ maybe that we are used to them, like our friends, okay, it's a different case for that. But there are those who will come to us, please, can I get a slot? What normally happens, the organizers get used to you coming to them asking for a slot, so they will call you for free. And when will you start telling them that I need to be paid now? It will be difficult.
Yeah, because once you open that door, it then becomes like a norm. And
it becomes a norm, yes. So that's where most DJs lack. I don't know if I may say they lack or they underestimate the outcome. Because my approach tomorrow, how am I gonna come back and say, no, you are not paying me? If you started by asking a slot, yes, you asked for a slot. Like I do communicate with the organizers, hey, put me through your gig. But if obviously I'll ask, how much do you have for me?
Exactly. The business aspect should never be which is interesting. Alright, so basically what I caught from that, as I'm an aspiring DJ, so make sure that whoever I'm starting with, I have a clear relationship with them. It's okay. As much as you're imparting the skill onto me, this is what the payout is going to be of sorts, so that it doesn't happen down the line that they feel entitled to make me who I am currently, which is, I guess, the same way across all these different spheres as well. There's always that person like, I discovered them before them with this, and then they entitled. And then the second part, of course, is the be clear. As much as when you're starting up, because obviously you don't have a name, because I think that's the dangerous part, how do you move around an industry by, obviously I'm unknown, and they still need to take a risk on me. Okay. How then do I get them to understand it's okay, fine, let's see what is got. But it should also be clear, like, as much as I'm going to require or request to be part of your lineup, but it should be clear that it's not something that's going to be free.
Like maybe you can say, I'm making a tour to promote my brand, and then it will be clear, and it will be stated on the poster that we are promoting so and so. It's a tour. It's a tour. There's this female DJ who just joined the industry. I think maybe it was last year, or her name is Miss T. Yes, so I saw her connecting a tour. She even went to South Africa. About that tour is helpful because they'll get to know her.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's unlike asking for a slot. Like, hey, can I come there? Play? It is clear it's a tour. Yes.
And as much as there then can be those discussions, obviously, we'll see payout and the likes, rather than
Yes.
asking for.
Yes.
It makes sense. And then, Lady G, obviously, we're interested in the name. How did it come up? How did you get the name? Is there like a backstory there? Let's hear it.
Oh, okay. My nickname. Kenene. I know it sounds funny. Kenene. Probably it's a name I got when I was young. I don't know what it means, but yeah, it's my name. It's my name. So the G came from the Kenene because they called me G at home. They call me G.
Like,
Yeah, that's how I became Lady G.
Most definitely. Okay, and then you've also done multiple shows. Is there one that sticks out to you? Which one is the most memorable one that you remember? Like, at that one specifically, I like it because this was the experience and I'm fond of that. And then the second one is, which show do you want to forget? Like, that was a nightmare, whatever. If only I could scrape it off the history, if that's the case, or you learn from it. But yeah, the best show and your worst show.
Okay, my best show was when I was playing in Namibia at Windhoek. It was my best show because even the way they respected me, I just can't forget it because I was the special guest from Swaziland. So and my set was very impressive. Like everyone was up on toes, everybody wanting to touch me. It was the best.
So those memory and actually being embraced in a different country actually makes that experience that much more monumental. So alright, cool.
Yeah.
And then,
okay, though I have another one which is also memorable. When I was in Durban, I was playing from the whole
it
was the best one because although I think all of us as DJs we were playing Tom, it was a Tom night, so it was the best night even there. And then my worst gig. I'm sorry I can't mention because I don't know if the organizers will take there was a problem with the sound, so it was cut out when I was playing a track and then it would jam and then the crowd would be standing still and what's going on, and then they'll be thinking it's me.
And there's another thing with the audience, which is actually a good segue here. Like, whenever you perform, obviously mentioned, and I like how you actually described those memorable moments. So see the crowd was actually vibing with you and the like. So I'm imagining really them looking at you with that expectation, like, and then what's happening, which was then rather interesting. In your case, do you feed off the energy of the crowd, which means, for instance, if you're at a place, maybe you've got a pre-planned set, do you ever change it based on how the crowd is reacting, or you always stick to your plan set? Or you obviously you mentioned, I like that you mentioned that you're a resident DJ, so that means you always need to read the crowd and then play what then resonates with them.
Yeah. Okay, when I'm going for a gig, I normally prepare my set. But it is my set won't be limited to the pre-planned set because at times the crowd will tell you something else. Making an example, I once went to Gangups. I don't know if you know Zumia Lodge. It's a Bushen.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I came with my gom, my stable gom. It is just stable. It's a stable set. Then they were not dancing. They were just watching a movie. And then I read the crowd, and then I said, Makats, I saw them. I saw all of them
Come
up.
back.
Yes, they overcrowded the dance floor. So, yeah, at times you read the crowd. You say, okay, this is what they want.
And that's actually important. So you need to really adapt somewhat. So you can't really go with the previous, which is then that means whenever you, I guess, delivering a stage, you travel, you take the crowd on a journey alongside you, which makes sense. Right?
Yeah.
And then you've obviously given me as an aspiring DJ what to do and what not to do, of course. I'm wondering, in your instance, is there a particular show you would love to grace or play a set at, like you aspire, maybe top 3 if you do have top 3? And where do we see Lady G, I guess, in the next 5 years? So, because I also have, I saw something rather interesting that you do also house vocals. Is there something you can hear, just like a quick, young sample of those vocals? But yeah.
Yeah, besides me being a vocalist, I'm also a producer. Recently, I've produced a track and collaborated with Team Spy Nation from SA, and my track is blowing.
Of course.
Yeah, it is blowing. Slowly but surely it is. Yes. And then, okay, about my music and DJing, I may not say I'm seeing myself at the top, but that's my aim. That's my aim, seeing myself at the top, being an international DJ, not only playing in this country or maybe South Africa, even going abroad.
Of course. Coachella maybe.
And follow Uncle Waffles.
Most did. Shout out for the music you're making, of course.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then, if it was never music and the likes and DJing, is there any other passion that you may not know about Lady G? What else are you into besides music? If it was never music, what else would it have been top of mind?
I think it's dancing, but because of aging.
But then dancing is, I feel like, is also one that doesn't have like a half-life, because you can always do choreography and the likes for other people.
Yeah.
I've seen dance for that. Okay. So it was never. So it's still music, though.
It's still music. So my hobby is rotates around music. If you can say, I'm dancing, I'm singing, I'm producing, I'm DJing. So
either or within that realm of music.
Yeah.
Of course. Alright. And then top 5 tracks you'd recommend for the viewers or us as well, and that should be in our playlist. What would you say? Okay, these top 5 tracks, please make sure you go into the weekend and check them out.
I'm not good with knowing that. I just know maybe the title or know the artist of the track. That's how I.
Oh, okay. So it's not specific. But then you caught a few there. You mentioned the Young Blackie somewhere there and KO. So we'll take from that in the show. Okay. And then are there any local acts that you'd like to work with, either from a musical sphere or production sphere, this side or internationally, I guess, that you aspire to?
Yeah, there are. Or artists and other DJs that I wish to work with. To name few vocalists that I would love. There's Bobzin, there's Lady Spesh.
Bobzin's actually done shout out to them previously, and
the likes of Lady Spesh, Mr. Kangaroo.
Oh, award winner, not even nominee, you almost say nominee. And what he's actually done for the music industry locally is impressive as well. It's done really well. But okay.
Yes, and then there's Wordsworth. I'm not sure if she's in. She's in.
Of course.
She's a new vocalist in Amapiano.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Today she'll be launching her singing at Polar Park It's Rich Aunt singing.
Oh, okay.
Well, she called the Rich Aunties. Yeah.
I will look that one up, definitely. You see, now you're putting us onto music as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, if it's obviously, you mentioned dancing as another hobby.
I just forgot to mention other DJs that I worked with. Yes, I worked with DJ Sense. DJ Sense, where that's I don't know, no matter to say he coached me into the production. Yes, in most cases I'll ask him how do I do this? How do I yeah. So I worked with DJ Sense way. Yes.
So
in case he's listening and say
you're not giving me props for that. And we can't do this yes. Makes sense. I know. So he's or they're the influence that kind of gave the DNA for your production as well side?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, okay. And then any piece of advice, okay, you gave me as an aspiring DJ, any piece of advice for the youth as well, who are either following their dreams, because you've obviously blazed a trail for yourself and you've made waves somewhat so, and you kind of have an influence within a sphere that you're passionate about. So if there's anyone, I guess, whether a viewer or the likes, or who actually has aspirations, what would you, or what piece of advice would you give them that you've used as well to either get you through hard times, if they ever are hard times, or moments where it's like you're feeling uninspired, like, you know what, I don't really feel like.
Okay. Oh, you mean with those who are DJs now, but they feel okay.
It could be a DJ, or it could be in any art form. Like I've got a dream, but then I feel like because obviously I'm assuming you do have down days at some point.
Yes. Okay.
Like how do you prep yourself or motivate yourself?
Yeah, it is about staying on your lane, at all times. Yeah, at times you wonder why are they not booking me. They'll book everybody around you. At times you know that I'm better than this one, I play better than this one, but he or she is all over. They book her or him more than 4 shows per night, and when you are sleeping no, you just have to stay on your lane. Maybe tell yourself that my time is coming, and also the fact that those who book us are people. So the relationships you make with people, it counts. So maybe to motivate people, you have to get to know people. You communicate with people. Even if you are not, it isn't asking for a slot in particular, but checking up how are things, maybe communicating with the DJs of a local resident area. How I'm a teacher, just getting to know people, because nobody will know you maybe in your house.
True.
You play. Another another thing, I think it's a barrier for us Swazis. We don't use social media, in which nowadays the only marketing place is the social media. We don't we don't value, or we do value, or maybe let me say we don't take it serious. We doesn't evaluate what to post, what not to post. So another thing we have to change, and we need to profile our accounts. I'm a DJ. I post this. I post so that people who are following you, they get to follow you as a DJ. Because we are posting I'm a DJ. Tomorrow I'm posting jokes.
And the food memes there, like there's a whole situation.
Sometimes I'm posting a horrible.
You're not sticking to.
Yes. if you can look to maybe other artists, maybe abroad,
Mm.
they respect their accounts, their pages. A page for an artist.
And the distinction what they actually.
Yes, I think they do have personal accounts and have the accounts for artists. This what this blog is for.
Mm.
Is for this. Yeah.
True, true. I actually like, before I delve into some of these comments here, what you actually highlighted on is actually, those are gems, truth be told, because, you know, the first part, the whole, you know, be intentional, and the fact that, you know, some people, they always assume that, and it's been said a trillion times and can never be said enough, that their dream is going to come knocking at that doorstep. I like what you mentioned, that, you know, put yourself out there, like talk to people. Yeah, there's either getting advice or you know, discussing the scene, or, you know, asking like, oh, how did you maneuver that? But they need to know that you're there, or you're available. Can either just jump into a slot if possible. And then the other part was the whole intentional part, that, you know, if you are a musician, a painter, a producer, you know, be specific and be intentional in what you're doing. Have a platform whereby people can reach and access your content. And I feel like the playing field has been changed now. There's no longer that many barriers between you and either your fans or your customers, or the people that either consume the content that you are churning out. Which then goes back to what you mentioned, like you should know who you are, someone. So there's nothing wrong with telling jokes. If you're into jokes or telling, then be specific and focus on that. But then don't confuse people. So yeah, I like that. We've got a comment here from Duri Durafanti, if I'm not mistaken. He's like, we love you, Nene, Lady Jean Wilson. We've got one from Pearl Member, is Wells Way too, and Lady Spish, I think. Alright, cool. And then obviously we've touched on aspirations, your best shows, which is I like the fact that it resonated across I guess borders somewhat, so which means, you know, one is actually beyond our sphere, making waves. Are there any other piece of music that we can look out for? I'm actually more interested in the whole vocal aspect. We've been touching a lot on you know, the DJing aspect. What track have you dropped recently, and are there tracks we can expect? Can you refer us to them?
Yeah. Okay. I have. I even don't know the name. Yeah, I've dropped three. It was three. Yeah, three single tracks.
Ah, yes.
Although it didn't pop up.
Oh no, it's still popping off.
Still coming.
Yes.
Yeah, still coming. One was with Mafigzo. The other one I was with Simpanana. The other one I was with DJ Sen's Way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have one coming. Yes, I'm with Simpanana again and Anita. Anita. Yeah, it's a gospel, I'm a piano track.
Oh yes, and you know those ones always resonate with people. Those ones always land.
Yeah, so I was planning to drop it maybe in the next 2 months.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
in the next 2 months.
We'll keep an eye out for that one, definitely. And I think you mentioned one that you touched on production. There's a link to it, right? We'll probably share it. Cool. This has obviously been an epic, somewhat so, and now the gyms, one is actually going to take them to art as well, and I hope the viewers as well will do the same. I guess as we closing off, what can we expect? Where can we see you perform? Obviously, the fans would like to experience the set, and what's in the horizon for Lady G as we close it off, and where can fellow fans find you, your handles and the likes?
Okay. Oh, okay. Currently, you'll get me at Madlangembisi, where I'm residenting. Although I'm not full time, it's high grade one in Malt and Stegi, Westgate Lodge. That's my two places. You'll get me there. Okay, you'll get me also on gigs on on other booked gigs. I was just explaining where I'm working for now. Um, you can get me on my social media platforms. On Facebook, I have a personal account, Kenene Lady Jingosi. Then my Facebook page, it's DJ Lady GSD. On Instagram, Lady G or DJ. Then my Twitter. I don't wanna talk about it.
That's fine. And I guess this one usually asks, I guess, as we close it off, is if you had the opportunity, but obviously this doesn't mean, even if you wouldn't put up something, but just in case you would, you would be able to plaster something into the sky whereby everyone would see it at the same time. It could be a quote that you love, a verse if that's the case, or words that encourage people, whatever. What would it be? Like, for maybe 10 minutes, everyone sees it at the same time. Which message would you give people?
Okay, maybe I'll quote that life's got no remote, so you have to change it manually.
Ah, fine, you heard that? In fact, that deserves this. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming to the invite, and of course, keep doing the most and blazing these trails. Obviously, we've done so much, and with a feeling that the next top bomb piano track is probably going to be from our local store and Diamond Literature. Thank you for putting through, and it's been a blessing.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me once again. Thank you.